Well, folks, welcome back to Sandy Bay. And we're on our very last field of baling. And it's been a very productive week. I'm not sure how many bales we have yet. I'm sort of waiting for the body count at the very end. We'll have to work that out once I know what the grand total is. Anyway, I got myself my little tractor with my little forks and borrowed a trailer from Farmer Klein to be able to do this job. Said he didn't mind me taking it on quote-unquote demo. But yeah, it's a good trailer. It's gonna serve us well. Now, before we roll the opening, here's a little something for Tino. Well, that guy is amazing. It's completely a workhorse. I got a bit of a bale left, but when I bring it back up to the farm, I'll finish filling up that bale and it'll be fine. All right, now for our next challenge, and this is the hard part about this is not stacking bales. The hard part is check out the angle of this hill. So where do I find a flat spot where I can put this trailer where I'm not going to run into trouble? That's the hard part. So, let's see here. All right, so I got those guys selected. Pick up my trailer. A second here. Reset that. Okay. Hang on. Look up. All right, that should do better. So one of the great things about this little weight. All right, and hook that up into the weight. It's got a little hitch inside the weight. So that way you don't have to drop the weight every time you need to move your bale trailer. Okay, need kind of a flat spot here to be able to do this. But good luck finding that. So, let's see here. Let's just bring him over here. There's a bit of a roll in the hill right about here. That should help me out a little bit. All right. And drop that there. Okay. And let's see here. And yeah, put the weights back on. All right, off we go to the races. Feel like he's dragging a little bit. There you go. Okay. So, one of the things I do like to do when it comes to baling is to find a spot where I can sort of drop all these stacks so that I don't have to run around too much after them. And one bunch. Let's see if we can do this in a sort of graceful manner without causing too much mayhem. Start by loading on the dual axle on the back. And tilt it a little bit too much forward. And see, back up again. And right about there should do it. Yep, that's one set. All right, we'll grab these guys. Can't tell you how awesome it is having a joystick and track IR to do this job. It almost feels like cheating. And turn that over this way. Good. Alright, these are a little bit Dutched. Let's see here. No offense, Allard. And put those onto there. Nice and gently. A little bit too much of an angle. Let's go back a bit here on this one. Try again. Right about like so, I feel. Still okay over here? Yep. Okay. Come in nice and snug. And maybe a bit too much forward. There you go. Oops. And down they go. Straighten out a bit and back out of them. Nicely done. Okay. A little bit of a gap between them there. Once you look at them that way, we'll nudge them over with the next stack. Let's go get this pile over here. Straight into them. And tilt them back. Now, some people find this job incredibly frustrating, and it's mostly because, you know, it takes a lot of practice. It takes a little bit of time and a whole lot of practice and a whole lot of hours before you get the swing of this. And people don't give it a chance. So they go to autoload trailers and they go to scripts, and the next thing you know, they never actually learn how it's done. Which it's unfortunate because it's one of those jobs that once you have the skills and you have the control to be able to pull it off, it's immensely rewarding to be able to do this. It turns into something that, you know, frankly, you want to do. Let's just go back and get these guys. But again, it just takes time, it takes patience, it takes the right tools. And yeah, I started off with the CSZ pack and the auto load functions. Moved on to the Curfab forks, which have a locking script on them and let me do things without having to worry too much about weighting, as in the weights of the bales and the physics associated with all that challenge in Farm Sim. And then gradually you start wanting to do it by incorporating the physics into your baling. You start wanting to, well, you learn how to, and then you actually use it to your advantage. So just push in just a little bit more. I got that other stack behind there that's a little bit crooked too. So I just have to be careful when I pull out. Oops, nope, missed that one up. Back in a bit. And down they go. Tilted a bit more forward. Again, the hill is not my friend on this one. Okay, that's good. So let's go get the last stack on the other side of this. Doesn't help that, you know, the whole hill is like at a 30-degree angle here. It's hard to tell what's level and what's not. Let's see if we can nudge those guys on this side over without creating a total disaster, which is always an option. Nah. Let's see here, just a little bump. Bump. Nudge them over a little bit more. There you go. That straightens those out a little bit. Then you come in. Patience, patience. Take Taking your time. Taking the time. No rush. Tilt it a little bit too far forward. Bring him right up against the side. Right up on the trailer. And back out of it nice and gently. There you go. Beautiful. Alright, one more stack. The other thing too is don't overdo it. If your machinery can only handle 3 tall, just do the 3 tall. I know it looks pretty impressive to have, you know, massive stacks of 4 bales and all that stuff, but it just leads to discouraging moments where the whole thing explodes on you. So it's just not worth it in the long run. It takes away your gumption to sort of perfect the skill, and it eventually just demoralizes the crap out of you because you spend way too much time picking up the pieces of your accidents. If you know what I mean. Which I feel like most people who play this game probably do. Alright, okay, that's not really straight yet, but I feel like I can't really go too far with that. Gonna need to help it along a little bit. Alright, backing up. Nope, it's not on there right. Roll it forward a little bit, then back out. There you go. There you go, bale physics. Okay, let me just grab another stack over here just to do some bumping and straightening, because I find the bales react the best to bale physics. Let's just grab this bunch over here. And straighten them out. Come on, there you go. No, okay. Just take an extra little moment here. Whoa, brakes. Okay, let's just take these and just do a little bit of a nudge on the stack, just to get them a little bit further backwards. Just a little nudge over here. There you go. That should straighten that out a little bit. And then another little nudge over here. Oops, a little bit too heavy on the front. You can feel the ass end of it kind of lift a little bit. All right, nice and slow. These are where the tears happen when I try to do stuff like this. There we go. Okay, back it up. Okay. You can feel things getting a little bit floaty here, so let's just put them down, back up, and get up. All right, so we'll have to pick those up afterwards. That happens. No biggie. All right, not the greatest stack, but you know, they're not all winners, so 1, 2, 3 straps. And let's see here, what do we have here? And you get rid of the weights in the back. All right, fold this thing up a little bit like so. All right, and with that, we need to go and deliver our first stack of bales to our first customer. All right, well, delivering this many bales with an 80 horsepower tractor does not just do itself. It is an advanced feature of the game. One thing's for sure, you gotta think about your route. In my case, if anything to the right of me is going to be too darn steep to get me to the sheep farm, so I'm going to have to go left here. That's all right. There's a nice little road that goes through here. There you go. It's a bit of a struggle up the bridge, only doing 5 kilometers an hour. But trust me, of all the options, I think this is my best bet. Plus I get to enjoy the countryside. Oh yeah, put my 4-way flashers on, put my beacon light on. This is not going to be an easy drive with a bunch of bales. So, let's see here. This little road, which is not very often used at all. In all the YouTube videos you've ever seen about Sandy Bay, this is one of those roads that is pretty much completely ignored. Right, make the turn as wide as we possibly can. Try to avoid that sign. Good. This is a nice gradual climb up the hill. And you may ask yourself, where the heck is he going with this? Trust me, I know this map like the back of my hand. Spent many, many hours in Sandy Bay, figuring out every nook and cranny. Even plowed that field with a big bud once, but that's another story. And that's right, we're at the pub. Just coming up behind the pub. So, let's see here. The hedges always hinder your visibility, so let's shorten our nose area a little bit for a little moment. Nobody coming, nobody coming. Anybody there? Yep, I got a car there. Alright, let's go for it. A lot of blind spots around here. Alright. Let's shoot down this road here. That's the road that goes to the highway. And all the way at the top of the hill over there in the distance, that's the Sandy Bay farm you guys have seen a million times on other videos. Not for me. Alright. Still got all our bales. Yep. Okay. Clear on that side. Traffic is coming from this way. Nice wide turn into here. Little bit of a tight road over here. Alright. Gradual hill. This may take a little while, but we'll get there. Hey, I'm still doing 13 kilometers an hour. How much more adventurous do you want to be with a giant stack of bales behind you? This is field 14 or 13 or whatever it was. One of the default fields in the map. Those of you who have played this map know it well. Starting to lose some speed now. We're going to make it though. You're just going to require some patience. Pedal to the metal. See, the problem is I could bring the Valmet to do this the Valtra to do this quite easily, the 8000 series. But then, you know, my forks are on this one. So, and I still need to unload the bales at the sheep farm. So, that would have required 2 trips. Wasn't in the mood for 2 trips. Plus, I get to check this one out because I also need to bring a load of these bales to the cow farm. So that'll be a separate occasion altogether. It's a little bit further. You don't realize how hilly this map is until you're doing work like this and having to bring stuff a long, long way. Doo-dee-doo-dee-doo. 8 kilometers an hour. All of the action-packed content you're used to getting from a Mark DuPont show. Creeping along in an underpowered tractor. Alright, we're almost there. We're almost there. We're getting there. There's a shortcut to the sheep farm through here. And I don't think that I can turn this bale stack around using the other gate, so Let's see what we can do. There you go. Open that up. Nice and wide gate. Look at that. You can tell Landy Kid had something to do with that gate when it's that wide. Always uses the biggest possible gear, that kid. Alright, and the sheep pasture. Alright, in we go. And are we in? Yeah, we're in. This is probably a bad place to stop, but you know, can't let the sheep out. Not our sheep. And up we go. Come on, little tractor. Get me up here. Yep. There you go. All right, all the way up. Beautifully done. Okay. That's excellent. So, I'm going to deliver these bales over here. The farmer just asked me to put them up against the side. He was going to sort them out later. I think he's going to build himself a shed eventually for the sheepies and for their wool, for their their provisions. Oh, hang on a second. Undo the straps. And undo that. Do that. All right, well, this is going to be a lot of back and forthing, so I'm going to leave you guys right here. And I'm going to sort these things out. Have a great day. See you later.